Good morning, family. How is everybody today? I feel so guilty. The past two big storms, I've left Boston right before the storms. My poor husband was left all the shoveling, but our neighbors helped, so that's good. But you've been through a lot since the last time I saw you. How many? Like a lot of, that was a 36-hour storm or something? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to give the report now, but this is that book right here. So we got this, right? And I look at it and I go, how in the world am I going to get that thing home? And then they were selling the Chanxiangyang, the Pyongwagyang, and the Champumogyang this size. So I bought the set. So I had 3 of these. And then you all saw these downstairs, all of this. So just trying to get all that into my suitcase along with the little jacket. You saw everybody in those blue jackets, right? It was sort of, luckily I had one of those, there was a small bag, like a carry-on bag, but it was the kind that it zipped so it got bigger. So I actually managed to get everything into my bag, and I had one little extra bag, but yeah, so I really had, it was a very full time that I was gone. I was gone for a week and a day. Before the conference, I was in California with my family. Of course, it was wonderful to see my sisters, but we were dealing with a really unpleasant situation in our family and involving legal issues and my brother. And so I went from that to Famicon. So it was a little bit hard to change gears. And this is just I'll give the content report, but this is a little bit of just the experiential report before I share my message. So we have this enormous book and these are all the slides that Reverend Kachi's working off of. But this is the 7-day content book. And he was doing everything in 3 days. Okay, so, and I came in late because I was in California. So I was trying to adjust even physically, spiritually. You know, I was sitting in the back because I came in late. And so you're looking, you know, imagine on the screen, there's the screens in front, then I think there's 2 screens on the side in IPEC. And I'm looking at the screen, okay, he's looking at this chart, reading something, oh, that's really good, let me make a note. And so I'm looking down, right? And the next time I look up, oh, it's a new slide, but no, it's not this slide. It's not this one, it's not this one, it's not this one. Oh, there's a picture. Okay, where's the picture? So, and then some of the content, like you need a magnifying glass to read it, and I didn't bring a magnifying glass. So, Father explained, and science, speaks to the feminine nature is very detail-oriented, right? And very, detail-oriented, and Japan is the mother nation, so they're super detail-oriented. So many little details, and then some of the charts our second gen, the basic 4-position foundation with the circles and arrows, but this is 3 times as many circles and arrows all on one chart. And so it was a lot to take in, but it was really wonderful, to be with brothers and sisters. You saw many people there, right? And there were, it was probably 80% elders and 20% young people. I don't know for sure, but there was, Tasna Moyer was there with her sister, and then maybe you saw if you know, Mark Hernandez was standing with his son who gave a testimony. So you had father and son, and that was new. We had those kind of coming to these meetings with your family members is new, and it was really wonderful to see that. And there were a number of young pastors. Joe Young, who's married to Keishu Green, is in Florida, and then Josh Angelucci is in North Carolina, and there's one of the Gavins, if you remember that one, the Gavins from, he's the second to youngest of 6 sons, or I think he's a pastor down in Alabama, and of course Mika Kuahara. So, to see them there trying to like really take on all of this, responsibility, was inspiring, and it was fun talking with them and seeing what things that they could relate to and things they couldn't relate to and what they're doing. And so that was really a highlight for me, was talking with them. And then originally because the announcement about this came up kind of like less than a month before, this week was very busy for me. So just trying to figure out how I'm going to get there and how can I stay. So I thought, okay, well, at least I can go for Reverend Kachi's time and then a little bit of the meeting. And then I had some things I had to do. But once I got there, I thought, no, I'll just stay for the whole time. And people said, oh, well, there's a surprise on Friday, but nobody said what it was. But anyway, I just felt once I was there, okay, no matter what, I should stay the whole time. So I changed my ticket, and then we find out, the Omonim is coming. So, dodge that bullet. I couldn't have come and faced all of you, No, I came home. So I did feel seeing True Mother that she was a lot lighter and kind of happier than many times that I've seen in public situations in the past. So that was really good. So. And I think you can read her whole speech on the Family Fed webpage. And I also, after the meeting, we were eating, and the tall, thin, second-gen Korean brother came in, whose mother's translator. Do you know his voice? And so I pulled out what little Korean I can, and kind of, oh, please come, sit down, let's eat together. And so I had a chance to talk a lot with him. And then these Japanese sisters came over and we shared. It was really wonderful to meet him. He gave me his card, and so I had like a lot of wonderful conversations with people. So anyway, I just wanted to just share that little bit with you without going into all of the what we're supposed to do and all of that. Also, I got home yesterday, and I felt a few weeks ago, I had an exchange with Fukiko-san that was a little bit tension-filled, not so good. And I knew that I had kind of hurt her heart, or she was upset about something. But it was like the week before I left, and I was really busy, and I knew, okay, I've known Fukiko a long time. I really love her. She loves me. Whatever it is, we can endure for a couple weeks. Sorry, Fukiko. But as soon as I landed yesterday, I thought, I have to go see Fukiko. So instead of like really preparing a lot, I wanted to come and, meet Fukiko-san. And we spent a lot of time together and sharing, and it was really wonderful. So I feel like when David Young came and he said that the relationships are the road, that anything that we are trying to do, that's the road that we travel on, that Fukiko is such an important part of our community. So if my relationship with her is not good, it's not good, right? So it's better, right, Fukiko-san? So anyway, having said that, you can put the first, I'm going to go to my short message. Okay, who knows what, Jim, you're not allowed to say yet? Andre got it first. Andre, stand up and say it with not clear as English as you can muster. What is this scripture?
You therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect.
Okay, we've all heard this 100,000 times, right? A question came up during Famicon. As you saw in the video that we had the questions and answers with, can somebody say this in Japanese? Can somebody say it in Japanese? Come on. Fukiko-san, what's that quote in Japanese?
完全にごめんなさい。あなたの死なる神様が完全で変なところ完全にとなります。
わかりました? Okay. So, somebody asked Reverend Kashi, Like when, because we heard this long, explanation of True Parents Course. So he said, well, when along that whole way did Father become perfect? And Reverend Kachi completely dodged the question, and he said, well, perfection is between you and God, so only God knows. And that was the answer. But I think, has anybody thought about what does that mean to be perfect?
Unconditionally loving.
Unconditionally loving.
If you read the whole passage.
Okay. Do you want to pull it up? No, just pull it up. Use your phone and pull it up. But we've all heard this discussion, right? Formation, growth, completion, reach perfection. Like, how many thousands of times have we heard that?
You only reach completion when you have fulfilled the purpose of creation.
Okay.
You do that through establishing a family.
But how many of us, many of us have established families, but are we perfect? No. No. But anyway, okay, that would be your answer. Okay. But it's still, what does perfection mean? Or is perfection something that we do? Okay, I'm going to reach perfection, put it in my GPS and follow the directions and reach it, or is it a state of being? What is perfection? Have young people here, because of our talking about perfection, felt a lot of pressure in your life to be perfect? Did you feel that growing up? Any of you? It was rough, right? You felt like, I have to be perfect. Or does being perfect mean you don't spill any milk? Does being perfect mean that every single one of your decisions is the absolute best decision? So, anyway, that was a question that was asked. And then we had the next day, and then the last day in Hundoke, we were reading a section of Hundoke that was from the Champumogyang about the value of Hundoke, actually the actual value of Hundoke. And I'll share some of that with you at another time. But after the reading was probably 30 minutes long. And then they said, okay, everybody, make a trinity and kind of talk about what you read. So at that time, I was sitting next to a Japanese sister. Right behind me were two Japanese sisters. So it's a little bit some language problem. In front of me was Reverend Jenkins and his wife, and in front of them was Bishop Kim, or Dr. Kim. So Dr. Kim turned to Reverend Jenkins, and he had an empty seat next to him. So I went and I sat and made a, foursome. And we shared a little bit. I shared about when Father first started Hundoke, and I was in Punta del Este with True Parents at that time, and that kind of precious memory. And then Bishop Kim, though, was like, had his phone out with something on it, and he was eager to share something. And he said, you all remember yesterday or the day before the question about perfection. And he goes, I was doing my Hundoke before I went to bed last night, and I think I found the answer. Okay, and the answer is from, okay, who knows what this is? Can anybody quote the quote from there? I'm trying to be a little creative here. Of course, we have no idea, right? The other one I asked you, who knows Matthew 5:48? Everybody knew, right? Who knows this? Nobody knows what it is. So, Taka, let's put it up. Perfection is reached when the subject partner values the object partner absolutely, and vice versa. Perfection is reached. So they're not actually defining perfection, but they're saying, how do you explain that grammatically? It's a little different than saying perfection is, but you reach perfection when the subject partner values the object partner absolutely, and vice versa. Fukiko, can you translate that?
No, I can't.
Yoshitaka.
主体が対象に完全に、無条件に、愛したときに、そのまたその対象が主体を完全に無条件に愛したときに、その主体の対象が完全な状態を、意味します。
Is that what you were talking about, Jim? So that means perfection is not like a place that we reach, but it's a quality of relationship, perhaps. This is what this said to me. Now, it was very interesting because when Bishop Kim said, so the way he heard this, quote, it was really interesting. It was very vertical. So he said, God values true parents value God, and if like true parents value us, if we become the kind of person true parents can value, then of course we value them. Now I'm thinking right away of like horizontally. That's my mind went to the horizontal relationships among all people of the world. My mind didn't go, when true parents value, didn't go there. But that's where Bishop Kim's mind went, Dr. Kim's mind went there. But my mind went, when no more fallen nature between Jim and I value Jim, absolutely, Jim values me. No more fallen nature between my husband and I, but I thought, even in a moment, you can have moments of perfection. Have you ever experienced that with people where you have those moments where you just, so perfection, the kingdom of heaven is like these series of moments that we string together over time that just grow and grow so that every interaction, vertical, horizontal, parents and child, all of it, you're valuing that person absolutely. So if you have any resentment towards somebody, can you value them absolutely? If you have an accusation towards somebody, can you value them absolutely? No, right? So then, so I'm, let's see, maybe like 70, 30, 60. Today is a 50, But I felt this simple little sentence was so meaningful. And then finally, in going through this book and all of these slides, there was a couple of things, and I didn't give this to Taka to put on the board, so I'll just read it to you, and I'll end here. I'm in the wrong section. Okay. If you go to this workshop, bring Post-its. I really wished that I'd had Post-its, like multicolored Post-its, but we were going through kind of chronologically through the year 2000s and the different things that Father had done. And we spoke about when Father explained to us what are the 3 rules of the kingdom of heaven. What's the first rule?
Don't hurt other people's hearts.
That's not the first rule. That's the second rule. What's the first rule? Anybody know?
Has to do with sexual morality.
Right. The first rule is to absolutely keep your lineage pure, even if threatened by death. That sounds... And then it's observation of absolute pure lineage. That's the first rule. The second rule is never violate the human rights of others. Human relationships centered on love. That's what Jim would said first. Who knows what the third rule is? So somebody besides Jim. Somebody besides Reverend Edgerly. Does that, any second gen, do you know what the third rule of the kingdom of heaven is? Okay. Any person between the ages of 40 and 50? Anybody between 50 and 60? Wait, are you between? Okay, anybody over 60?
Oh yes, excuse me, over 60.
Okay, what's the last one?
Don't misuse public money.
Who said that? Vivian? Don't misuse public money. Did you know there's a fourth? There's a fourth. I never knew. But according to this slide, according to Lecture 5, Slide 8, Page 4, It reads, the fourth, and maybe Taka, can you type this while I'm saying it? The fourth is for you. Oh, I'll wait till you're ready. Okay. The fourth, on the 42nd True Parents' Day, which was 2 months after Father made these first rules, from when the first rules were expressed. The fourth is for, on the 42nd True Parents' Day, the fourth ironclad rule was added. Okay, and it is, the fourth is for you to create exemplary families in the relationships between parents and children, husband and wife, and brothers and sisters. So, what do you think? What are a few key words in that to you? What speaks to you in that? Exemplary. Is there another word that? Relationships. Exemplary relationships. Do you see how this connects to the former quote about when perfection is reached? Wouldn't you say a relationship where the subject partner and the object partner absolutely value one another is an exemplary relationship? Brothers and sisters, period. So sometimes if we think exemplary families means we have to be perfect families. Never fight, never, But it was just interesting to me that this focus, again, what's been speaking to me so much is the quality of relationships. So, do you feel a little bit more hopeful about reaching perfection? No? Peggy said no. Okay, well, sorry, but I think that if we try to, just take those moments to think about, well, what's the quality of this relationship right now? What's blocking? Like I knew there was a block between Fukiko-san and myself. But I also knew if we sit down and we share and we listen and cry and pray, because I really love Fukiko and she loves me. I hope. Do you love me, Fukiko? I shouldn't assume that. Long relationship, right? But Fukiko-san is a really hardcore vertical Japanese sister, don't you think? In the best sense of the word. Really in the best sense of the word. Yeah, her love for true parents and for God it's not cerebral, it's visceral, right? And sometimes I was insensitive to that because of my concern for my brothers and sisters. So I feel so hopeful, actually. I really feel hopeful that we can create the kingdom of heaven. We can actually reach perfection. And that's going to be the end of the sermon. No, that's for after. That's the report. Okay, so I'm going to pray. We'll have our announcements, have our collection, sing our song, and then if you want to run downstairs, get a cup of coffee or something, then I'll share more of the nuts and bolts of the conference. Okay? So I don't know if that really you're not super interested in that, that's fine. You don't, I just didn't want to I just wanted to keep the sermon. Okay? Our beloved Heavenly Parents, we love you so much. We love this beautiful world that you made. The beauty of creation, the magnificence of creation and the intimacy of creation. We love, our heart goes out to people in this world. We want to see a better world, Heavenly Parent. We want to see a world where people don't go through all the horrific things that they go through now in their lives. There's so much pain and suffering and so much depression and anxiety and fear and resentment and accusation and just so many things that are not a part of the world that really anybody wants. Nobody wants that kind of world. Nobody wants to feel bad about themselves. Nobody wants to actually feel bad about other people. And yet, our life circumstances and the external circumstances that people live in and so many different things affect our ability to live the kind of life that we want to live and to be the kind of people that we want to be. And we know that understanding your absolute parental love is so vital to all of that, Heavenly Parent, because really knowing your love and receiving your love gives us a sense about ourselves that makes it easier for us to relate to others. So first we want to orient ourselves with the value that you see in us, Heavenly Parent. We want you as our subject partner. We want to really feel that you value me absolutely. And then we value you absolutely. In many ways, we see that just in living color for many of our elders. We've experienced that from our true parents. But we don't want to just be there. We want to take that love. We want to receive that love and that identity that we have as the sons and daughters of the creator of the universe, the source of all love and beauty and truth. And then see that value in each other. And we can then reach perfection in that moment. I think every day we should have that experience. We should experience perfection just even for a short time every day, just a little bit. Heavenly Parent, we're really, really grateful for our community here. And I pray that anyone that is struggling, anyone that is feeling bad about themselves, anyone who's doubting that they're a worthy person, that they're a good person, anyone that feels overwhelmed by the responsibilities in their life, or anyone that feels overwhelmed by what they perceive to be their failures in their life, that at this moment you can touch their heart, Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother, that you can just whisper. They can hear the sweet nothings that you want to whisper in their ear. And also, Heavenly Parent, we want to be there for you in a way with our spiritual antenna up so that when we see one of our brothers and sisters looking a little bit down or something's bothering them, that we can take that moment to just say, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? Is something bothering you? If the world was filled with people that were sensitive to you and sensitive to one another, it would be a different world. Heavenly Parent, I'm grateful for the time that I could spend with all of our brothers and sisters in Las Vegas and then culminating with our True Mother. And we're finishing our Sunday service, and then I really want to be able to convey that heart and that love and also some of the concrete things to our brothers and sisters here. So I offer this report now on behalf of everyone here, but I offer this report in the name of the Ono family, a blessed central family. Aju.